So nice to have you around.
Yeah, finally, like really settled this time around.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I'm so sorry yesterday turned out that way. First, I was in transit, the network was fluctuating. It was something else.
I'm so happy to have
I
you
do
here.
apologize. I'm really excited to be here. Good to have you,
I
sir.
am too. I am. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. Yeah, Sister Pat, I'm so glad to have you around too. Wonderful.
Thank
wonderful.
You.
Yeah,
Thank
I think
you.
we have about 2 people joining us, and I think the rest people will start turning in now. Let me quickly do a quick reminder.
Okay, just let us know. We're going to be streaming live on YouTube.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That is wonderful. Then I want to find out, is it possible for you to record this for us?
Yes, I can.
Yes, please. I would love it if you can record it. I would love it if you can record it.
Okay, but I'll just pause it for now.
Okay.
Until we're
set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until we're ready, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So I'll just give us some time to reach out and have more people join us.
Okay.
Hello, okay. Victoria. I can see Victoria from Nigeria.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. I'm already here.
Good to have you. I can see Rebecca Orabi. Good evening, ma'am. Good to have you in the house. Good evening from Nigeria. I do not know where you are located.
Thank you.
Right here in Nigeria. And our co-host, Mrs. Patience. Your name is showing destiny today.
Oh, I had to use.
Oh, fantastic.
My nephew's laptop.
Yeah, Justina, you're welcome. I can see Justina.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everyone, and I would only leave Mr. Sam's mic open and Patient's mic open, so we do not have too many distractions from the background.
Exactly.
We're actually live on YouTube, so I just wanted to make sure that you know that you're live.
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Sam, you can unmute yourself. I'm giving you permission to unmute. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, great. Good to have everyone in the house. We're 10 and counting. I think the network will be really good with us today. So, come on. Okay, so I'm making Mr. Sam, I'm making you and Patience co-host. So you can mute and unmute yourselves at will.
Okay.
Awesome.
Just a moment.
Okay. Let me see what's going on YouTube. Okay, so in the meantime, yeah, we're about 12 now. I'm just going to quickly run through and welcome everyone. And we have Tina here. Mr. Sam, you know everyone that is here, I guess.
Yes, I have. My wife is here. She's looking at
Awesome.
me right away.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Tina is here. And I think more people are joining. Yeah, that is Tina. Yes. I think we can start now.
Great. So, good evening, everyone. You're very welcome. I do hope you're hearing me. My system seems to be frozen. Something is frozen. Very welcome. Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to go right ahead. I'm hoping you can hear me from there because it looks like my screen is frozen. In the meantime, my name is Oghenetega Bassi. I like to be referred to as Tega Bassi, otherwise SD Tega Bassi. You get to understand the whole SD thing as time goes on. But first and foremost, I really want to thank our hosts for today, Mrs. Patience and Mr. Sam. Is anyone hearing me? I seem to be frozen.
Yes.
Okay, because my screen is frozen, so I wasn't too sure that you're hearing me. Fantastic. All right, I might have to start the recording in between because now my screen is actually frozen. So whenever it unfreezes, I start the recording. So at this point, I'd just like to have our hosts and co-hosts give a little rundown of themselves. Let us know who you are.
Oh, it's frozen again. Sister Patience, can you unmute?
Yes. Yeah, we can go ahead.
Yes, my name is Samuel, and by the grace of God, I stay here in Netherlands, and I was a lecturer way back in Nigeria. I lectured theater arts, where I teach theater art, drama, music, and dance. And presently, I'm in the Netherlands, doing something entirely different from what I studied in school. That is what Europe is all about. But having said that, I discovered that I just have this flair for network marketing. And I started looking for a good platform. And here I am. I am really blessed to be in the midst of this squad. It's been a wonderful experience. Honestly, every day I look forward to another day with excitement. It's always challenging, but at the end, it comes out good. Yes. And with me here also is Lady Pat. I call her Lady Pat. Very amiable woman, and she's very, very hardworking. Every time we got to brainstorm, at times early in the morning, is either she calls me or I call her. Anytime, even when she's on the road, she's always ready to pick call. And anytime she picks a call, at times I will tell her, please, don't be angry, I'm calling you by this time. And she said, no problem, no problem. She's ever smiling. And that puts me in a very comfortable position. Thank you for being on the show. I really, really appreciate your presence in this place. And I also want to say I want to welcome our SD. Honestly, she's a woman that is ready to go all out. Yesterday, she couldn't make it because the same event took her all the way to Lagos and she was held up in traffic. But today, I'm so excited that she's here in our midst. I don't know if she's available. I can't see her anywhere. Maybe she's trying to connect back.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's trying to connect back. I just pray that the internet will not disturb us tonight. I just hope so. I just hope so. Yeah. And I'm seeing quite a number of people here tonight. I'm so excited to have you here. And I know that this meeting is really going to be a blessing to you. Because every time we keep looking for how we can become financially independent and how we can become financially strong. And we keep looking for it in so many avenues, through so many medium. But today, we are trying to look at it from a different angle. Yes, my SD is back. Quickly, I want to talk about this woman that will be speaking with us today. Her name is Mrs. Pearl Oghenetega Bassi, popularly known as SD Tega Bassi. She holds a bachelor's in science degree in banking and finance. Interesting. From University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, as well as a master's of business administration's degree from University of Wales with specialization in business administration and a bias for finance. Her working career spans over 11 years. Interesting. During which she worked with Union Bank of Nigeria PLC about 3 years, where she gained immense experience in relation management and team building. Thereafter, she joined the oil and gas sector, where she worked with Total Nigerian PLC for 8 years and 3 months before resigning just a few days ago. I think we can later know why she resigned. Very soon she'll be telling us why. Just a few days ago. Yes. As an employee with Total Nigerian PLC, she served as a general trade executive. She acquired vast experience and skills while working in the oil and energy industry. This includes analytical skills, management, teamwork, and risk management. Tegabasi is a mompreneur and is diligently raising her 2 cute angels to understand founder entrepreneurship at early stage. She's the co-founder of and chief executive of the Business Innovative Research Development Solutions Limited, BIRDS. Mrs. Tegabasi is currently a 1-star director with Longreach Bioscience Company, and she leads the Bull Squad team. She's married to a heartthrob, the amiable Mr. Bassi Okon, and their marriage is blessed with 2 cute angels, beautiful angels. Please welcome with me to this platform tonight with excitement. Yesterday, I was panting and I was sweating, but tonight I'm so relaxed. Please welcome with me our SD, Mrs. Tega Bassi. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Woo!
Thank you so much. You don't need to pass the sweat. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate. Thank you very, 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 very much. Good evening, everyone from Nigeria. It's my pleasure to be here with us today. I really wanted to do this with us yesterday, but unfortunately, I left my location too late and I got me too late. So I'm glad that we're able to do this today. And I really want to thank our host for putting this together. I know we're going to be doing like more of this on a weekly basis. So let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay, so
Yes.
for those of us who are coming in, I've seen some people who have come in, but they haven't dialed in. So if you do not dial in, you will not hear us. I have Happy on the call, but she isn't dialed in. So we'll need her to dial in so she can hear us. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to share a little bit about my story, and I'm really going to be taking a little bit of time today to share my screen. So sorry I dropped off earlier. I think I just had a little glitch on my system. It was frozen and then, totally took me out of the space. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with us very shortly. But first and foremost, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. Who am I? What do I do? Why Longreach? Why am I comfortable not being on a job? And more so, a job in an oil and gas industry, which everybody really, really craves for.
Mm.
So I'm just going to quickly run through that. My journey started on the Longreach platform at about 4 years plus now. And I've been doing this part-time, of course, with my job, with the kids and everything for those 4 years. More or less like 2 years, because 2 years within the business, I had to put my business completely on hold because of my job. And that was because there were so many rumors and things and side talks. So in order to not offend God and not offend man, I decided to put it on hold so that if anybody is accusing me of anything, I can say that before God and man, my hands are clean. I did not do what you said I did. So I did that, but midway, I told myself, well, I'm not living my life to please anybody. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be spending my time. So when it's time to do my job, I face my job. When it's time to do my business, in the evening from 6 p.m., I face my business squarely. And then I devote my weekends to my business. And really, what was I doing? More or less, of course, everybody knows salary can never be enough. No, even if they are paying you 1 million naira in Nigerian currency in a month, the rate of inflation alone will erode the increase in salaries. So you just find out that no matter how much your salaries are taken up, it still is not enough to fund your dreams. It might be enough to keep you going day by day, foot those little bills here and there, but to fund your dreams and to actually live the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, your salary may not be enough for that. It really may not be enough for that. So that was my situation, and that's what prompted me into beginning to look for something else that I could, do that would not just supplement my income, but give me a better lifestyle. You know that thing of you want to buy a new car, you have to check, you have to check all your accounts, do all the plus and minus, calculate if you take a loan, how much is it going to impact you? I really didn't want those. Those were the kind of things that I did not like. I didn't like the fact that before the month ends, the salary is finished. In fact, even before the next salary even comes in, I'm already broke. I didn't like that. And I didn't like the fact that I couldn't just wake up and do anything I wanted to do at any time without having to think about my bank account balance. So those were the kind of things that drove me into looking for something additional to do. And so many business opportunities came. There was drop shipping, there was, traveling out and buying things and stocking up in a boutique. There were so many variants of things to do. But then each one of them has their own risks. And I needed something that would not put me at the mercy of any shop boy or any shop girl. Exactly, because sometimes it's very difficult to find someone who is trustworthy. That whether you are there or not, you know that everything is going the way it should go. So those were one of the things I really considered in trying to start up a business. And I wanted something that I could easily control from wherever I am without having to think twice and be fixed in a spot because I need to monitor my business. And my friend came along with this. And of course, it didn't look like one of the things I would like to do at all because it had the referral system. So when she brought it up, I immediately turned it down. And we went on like that for a year plus before she cornered me one day. You know, it's when you're a very close friend of yours is the one telling you about something, it's very easy for him or her to know exactly where to corner you. So at some point when she knew we were selling off one of our cars, the very next day, as soon as she sold off the car, the very next day she landed the house. And guess what?
She knows there's money.
She knew there was money. So she was just waiting. Because all my excuse prior to this time was, I don't have enough money. I don't have money. You know, the salaries were coming, but it wasn't my priority. So as far as I was concerned, I don't have money for this like right now. So as soon as we sold the car, the babe just landed the very next day. Mm-hmm. At that point, I couldn't tell her I don't have money. I didn't have any excuse. So I just like, okay, let me just, you know, give her this stuff so she gets off my back and lets me have my peace. And that's how I got signed up on the platform. And even then, my initial reaction was, okay, I'm just going to take these things back and look for a way to dispose of them. And once I dispose of them, I will call her and tell her, thank you, see you later. That was honestly, that was my plan. But you know what happened? I got back, I spent time, I studied a little bit about the business. I studied some materials that she gave me. And then I went about, you know, sharing. I didn't even share the business parts with people. I just went about sharing the products that they had, sharing the offer, the product offer. And people ended up liking. I ended up having repeat orders that I did not plan for. So I kept having people coming back and say, oh, wow, that toothpaste was wonderful. Oh, wow, I loved the wine. Oh, wow. So I just kept having people coming back to buy products. So that's really how I began the business. But the turning point for me was when I saw about 16 of them in Akwa Ibom State. Then they did a car awards in Akwa Ibom, and I saw 16 people being awarded brand new cars. And I just looked at it, I was like, what? So you actually mean that these people did this business and they got these, like they displayed the cars. We actually saw the cars. And I was like, really? I'm working in the oil and gas industry, quite all right. And at that point, if I really wanted to get a brand new car, I would need to plan and plan and plan. And I said, okay, I actually, it was one of the things, okay, if this platform can give these guys brand new cars in a year, there is absolutely nothing that stops me. What really is it about? Shebi is talking. I can talk. Is it not showing people things? I have mouth, I can show. So it was more or less like, okay, they got this result, and this is how they got it. If they could get this result, then there's absolutely nothing that would stop me from getting it. So all I just need to do is just learn it and do it. And between that point, 6 months after that, that's when I landed my first brand new car on the platform. In fact, it was very funny. It was funny in the sense that I landed my first car. That was October, was it? No, September. It happened in September, and we were given the cars. We were literally given the cars. In fact, that morning, there was not that particular. There was a particular morning that I was at home with my husband. It was a weekend. And then they called and said, okay, madam, congratulations, you qualified for a brand new car. We wanted to ask you, what kind of car do you want? They were like, what? Like, what did you say? What kind of car? Okay, what do you have on the table? I say, okay, we have Hyundai. We have any brand you choose. And I'm like, okay, I want Hyundai Elantra. That one that you press button. The one that you press button to start. And I said, okay, fine. The next question was, what color? I just totally went berserk. Like, really? I could even choose the color of car I wanted, you know? So I just looked at my husband. I told her, hold on. Did a quick chit chat with my husband, and we decided to go for black. And honestly speaking, when we went for the car awards, that was in Lagos, because I was the first and the only person as at then to qualify for the car in Benin City. So it was not done in Benin. Rather, we had to go to Lagos, Nigeria, to get awarded the cars. We saw the cars displayed. We saw the cars being displayed. And you would actually see it on the slides when I'm sharing the screen with us. And I was like, okay. The first thing I told my husband was, we're leaving this place today with this car, just in case they decide to change their mind. I will make sure I sign the papers and take this guy away so that I don't hear stories that touch the heart after that. This was in 2015. So we finished everything. Everything was done. The car was registered. It was even fueled. I needed to do absolutely nothing on the car. All I needed to do was just get in, buy foot mats and put it and drive.
Sorry.
Yes,
you said you mean they bought fuel inside ready for you?
There was fuel in the car. That detailed. There was fuel in the car. All I needed to do was just get foot mats and maybe seat cover. Just drive and go. And that was it. You know, we took the car to the hotel, we parked it. The next morning, I came out to check if the car was still there because I was ready to. It was just like, really? Did this just happen? You know? And that was like the beginning of more openings, bigger things coming in. And funny enough, about 3 months after that, that's just when I got a transfer on my job. And the transfer came with an official car from the company.
Oh.
Believe me, I was the first person in the whole of that company to actually turn down the official car. It became a problem. Like, this is a position that people lobby for. This is a position that people desire because it always comes with the car. So everybody wants that, tear up a brand new car kind of a thing. I did not lobby for it. It came by favor. And I already just had a brand new car that was barely 3 months. And here I was turning down an official car. Hey, the whole place went like, are you crazy? You know, but eventually there was a lot of pressure. So eventually I just had to take the car, and I ended up having 2 brand new cars in 1 year.
Ooh.
Awesomely fantastic. So that's just how that happened. And, you know, all this was really done part-time, not like I was doing it full-time. It was really done part-time, most of my evenings. And of course, my job was not one that you could really move around. I was in the office. So what was I really doing? I was using my phone. Basically, just using my phone to connect with people. Then weekends, I'd hold presentations. I would share the business opportunity with people over the weekends. Sometimes I'll just make a trip or 2 to other cities and talk about it. But every weekend was blocked out for my business. Every weekend was completely blocked out. So that's how it went. And still on the job, by God's grace, we've risen to the position of a star director. And I would still share with us what it is about. By God's grace, this platform has brought me to the point that what I would usually earn monthly as my salary in the oil and gas industry became my weekly earnings on the platform.
Can you repeat that again, please?
I said that courtesy of this platform, what would be my monthly salaries on my oil and gas job became my weekly earnings on this business. And we've within the course of the year 2020, of course, we know that is this year that COVID-19 hit everyone and a lot of things went down. Within the first quarter of this year, I had already maxed out 2 times my annual salary in the oil and gas industry. When I mean annual salary, I mean including all the emoluments, the 13th month, the shopping basket, everything boxed together, twice of that on this platform within the first quarter. And it was at that point I asked myself, so you were able, by the grace of God, to do this working part-time. What if you do this full-time? What do you think it would do for you? And sincerely, the last 2 years on my job was crazy. Of course, you know how the corporate sector can be. It's always very draining and all of that. So I had a lot of challenges. At a point, I had set up, you know, in Nigeria, shrinks are not very popular in Nigeria. So we only have them in Lagos. At a point, I had on 2 different occasions booked appointments with psychologists because of the kind of terrible pressure I was facing from my job. The only thing at that point that was giving me some form of joy and, you know, succor, apart from my God, my kids, my family, was this business. This was more or less the only thing that was keeping me sane at that point in time, because there was so much pressure. But by the time you come back and you're doing the business with people that you love and people who love you too, you guys have some form of understanding. It just makes it easier because we built a community that was much more supportive, and you're consistently doing something to help somebody else to have or achieve their own dreams. So it was more or less of, yes, I'm not just doing it for the money, but it came to a point of, you know, being that channel that is helping someone else to also achieve their own dream. So in the course of you going after yours, you are helping people. So it's more or less of everyone benefits. And, you know, that's really the fantastic thing about it. That's really what made me to begin to look at the business on the platform with a very different point of view. It's no more, how much would my salary help people around? How much salary would I be able to give to people? I can't. It's not even enough for my family. So why should I even start giving out at that point in time? You know, but the platform allows us to be able to not have to give people money, but actually teach and help people to create their own income. And there's nothing that is as delighting as that. Seeing someone that you've, you know, worked with and the person is doing well and someone is calling you every day to tell you, thank you for introducing me to the platform. Thank you for taking up time. Those things alone, it's not money, but it does a whole lot. So far, so good. That's, in a nutshell, my story on the platform. And today I'm happily doing this full time. I now have time with my family. I'm at home with them, working from home and sharing the business with others. So I'm quickly just going to share my screen with us. So we just run through it and see what this business is about. What are we talking about? I've shared my story. So now it's about time that we understand what the business is about and what is in it for you. So we're looking at it from the angle of consumption, right? I'd quickly run us through, okay, we've been through my profile, so I'm not going to spend time on that. Now, the very first question I want to ask anybody who is on this call is, how is your bank account balance currently? Are you happy with it? Are you happy with this? What's your current status in terms of investments, in terms of financial assets? what is it like? Are you satisfied with where you are, or do you think you can actually do more, right? In terms of expenses, there are certain expenses that you really cannot expunge from your budget. And I'm going to be sharing very briefly before I get into the platform and what the benefits are and all of that. I'll just briefly share a couple of things that I've learned on the business, and that has to do with your income. Usually, your income should be equal to savings plus expenditure plus your investments. That's what your income should actually be equal to. But most of the time, we have situations where you have people having income being equal to expenditure and savings, or for some people, income is equal to expenditure. For some people, it is income equals to negative expenditure, like expenditure plus loans and all of that. So really, what's the ideal financial lifestyle we should have? You should have your regular earnings. From there, you should save. From there, you should also have what you can invest that would bring in more income for you. That's actually the way it's supposed to be. And why is it that way? It's that way because most of the time, we don't think about saving or investing until after we've paid all the bills. So we pay the bills first, we spend first, we pay every other person first before we pay ourselves. And paying yourself is that part that has to do with saving and investing. So you would find, I really can't remember his name right now. One of these money gurus would always tell you, pay yourself. I think it's Robert Kiyosaki. He would always tell you, pay yourself first. In other words, before you start spending, take out, invest some, save some. Then you now spend whatever is remaining. Like really, that's the kind of money attitude we should have. So generally, I usually like to do this. Most of the time, we have just one source of income. And probably if you're on this call right now, you're probably sitting on something. You're sitting on a chair, or you're sitting on a bed, or you're sitting on a desk, whichever. There's one question I'd like to ask you. How many legs does that apparatus that you're sitting on have? It has 4 legs, right? If it's a chair, it's 4 legs. If it's a bed, it's 4 legs. If it's a table, it still has to be 4 legs. And because I'm a Bible student, most of the time I like to go to the scripture, where in Genesis, when God created the Garden of Eden, he planted how many streams to water it? There were 4 streams. 4. He could have put 1 in the center, and everybody converges around there. But he created 4, and the 4 were flowing for different purposes. So is it not funny that that's the principle we should be operating by, but when it comes to our finances, we take much more terrible risks by having just one source. If I give you a chair with just 1 leg, you will not sit on it. No matter how much I try to convince you, you will tell me to be the one to sit on it after I sit on it before you now decide to try it. You won't dare sit on a chair with 1 leg. So why should we, or why are we making that mistake with the one thing that holds our livelihoods, our finances? So I just like you to take a very critical look. Probably after this, you could take a pen and piece of paper and try to identify your various sources of income. How many do you have, right? What I put here was just like a prototype of what your sources of income should really be like. You should have income from rent, which is real estate. You should have, if you're working, you should have your salary, of course. You should be able to have investments in the money market. Or because in Nigeria, stocks, not it at all. But I know that outside the country, probably in other countries, it's more beneficial to put your money in stocks and all of that. Those are things that you could look at. Then you should also have a business that brings in like cash flow. We call it cash flow. You have to keep that cash flowing. So really, that should be what your income should look like. At least 4 sources of income. So if you do not have that, like right now, that's one thing that should be your target or your goal for the year 2020, to diversify your sources of income and create at least 4. It can be more than 4, but at least 4 streams of income. So we've looked at the income part. Now let's look at the expenditure. Like I mentioned earlier, that there are some things that you cannot, no matter how much you try, you cannot remove it from your budget. You can't circumvent it. You can't go, there's no going, around it. And these are some of the common things that we spend on: our toiletries, our groceries, because you need to, to look good. You need to look good. Have you ever taken note on how much you spend to look good and smell nice? If you take a very good look at it, you'd find out that you would have spent, if you're in Nigeria, you would have spent hundreds of thousands in Naira, or tens of thousands in dollars or in euros or in pounds at the end of 12 months. If you're supposed to really take time and keep tabs of your expenditure. So what we're going to be showing you today is that these daily consumables, these things that you spend on that you cannot expunge from your budget, you can convert it into a business that brings in cash flow. Your normal businessman will tell you cash is king. So that's actually what sustains. Taking a very good look at the screen, almost all these things are you're very familiar with them. Some of us might be using them in our homes already. So what I'm going to be showing you today is that you could take this and use them to create the kind of income that can bring in twice your annual salary within the first quarter of a year. Or even bring in your annual income, your annual salary in a week. Yes, there are people who are earning some people's oil and gas annual salary within a week as I speak right now on this platform. And I'm going to be showing you that. Okay, so basically, we've talked about everything here, right? I've already mentioned that there are some things you cannot remove from your budget, and it's wiser to change your consumption pattern. So this is where I'm coming into. Instead of you walking into the grocery store or walking into the supermarket or walking into your vendor's place and, picking up these consumables like you usually do, why don't you change your consumption pattern like we have, right? You change your consumption pattern, and by doing that, we're taking out the power from the big goons or the big guys who have always manufactured in the fast-moving consumer goods industry. You know them. There are a lot of them whose products you're already using. So we take the power from them. We add the power of our word of mouth, like I'm sharing with you today. And we start from our circles and expand. I read a book, and the guy said in his book that you are 6 people away from a very significant person. In other words, if you want to meet with the president of Nigeria, you will definitely know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone to the 6th degree that has a direct connection with the president. So the thing is this: are you able to use these networks to create net worth for yourself? That's the idea. And basically, this is what multi-level marketing is about, right? This is what our platform is about. It's about changing our consumption patterns, using the word of mouth to share with other people, and creating income from it. So before I go straight into who Longreach is and all of that, I'd just like to do a little bit more of education. I've talked a bit about our income and the number of sources of income we should have, but I also want to, throw a little bit more light on multi-level marketing. Reason I want to do this is because I know there are so many misconceptions. There are so many misunderstandings. People have had a lot of bad experiences. In fact, if you even go on the internet, you will see a whole lot of things that are anti-network marketing, So I really want to take a little bit of time to throw a little light on that. And why does it look as if, multi-level marketing is hated? I mean, you would find a lot of them on YouTube. There are so many on YouTube that keep telling you, don't even get into network marketing. It is a scheme. It is this, it is that. I'm going to take time to just run you through why you should even get involved in multi-level marketing or word of mouth marketing at all. Okay, so let's quickly do this. First and foremost, multi-level marketing did not begin today. It began like a long time ago. In fact, I think it even began in the 18th century. I just had, I did another research and found out that it began earlier than 1926. And really what is it? It's just a model of distribution. But we have different things that look like they are multi-level marketing, but they are not. And these are Ponzi. You have the Ponzi, you have pyramid schemes, and then you have multi-level marketing. And I'm going to be showing you the difference between a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, and what multi-level marketing really is. Now, I talked about people having past failures in multi-level marketing, and majority of the time, the reason these kind of things happened, or people got scammed, or people got bad experiences, are because of some various factors that you find in your typical network marketing company. Some of them include auto-ship. What is auto-ship? Auto-ship is a compulsory purchase that you have to make every month, whether you need it or not. So sometimes people get into the business and they have not even made any money, but before the month ends, they must make a purchase of a minimum amount. And if they don't make that purchase, either they get blocked, they get demoted, they have their points flushed, so many things. And it just looks like you are turning a wheel over and over again. Some companies or some marketing plans would make it in such a way that at the end of the month, whatever you did for that month is zeroized. Like when I say zeroized, like it's wiped off completely, and you have to start again afresh. So that means that, the people that you even shared the business with in that month, you are no longer working with them anymore because they've been removed from your organization. So you're now out there trying to get in fresh people. So that just reminds me of a banker, someone who is working in a bank and is a marketer for a bank. The more you achieve your targets, the higher they increase your targets. And your previous wins with any target that you met at all is not even counted. Like, that is beyond it. It's gone, it's past. So you're going to go for a fresh one now. So that makes it a little bit more stressful. And that's why you'd see a lot of people still have this mindset about multi-level marketing being that way, but it doesn't apply to every company. Some companies use that model. So you just check, can I cope with the whole demotion, with the whole flushing of points, with the whole auto ship? Those are really the things that make it look like people get stuck in the business. Now, what we have on the Longreach platform is that a lot of these pitfalls had been carefully removed, considered, and removed just to make the business easier for people. So you just have right here, I've just taken up time to show you definition of a Ponzi scheme, what a pyramid scheme is, what you have in multi-level marketing. So I'll quickly run through it. A Ponzi scheme promises you high returns, extremely high returns within a very short period of time. Sometimes within the first month of you even beginning the business, they are promising you extremely high returns. Little risks, right? And then if you try to dig in, they really do not have any tangible products that you are receiving as value for the money that you put in. Take, for instance, I don't know how many of us knew of MMM, right? That was a typical Ponzi scheme because they came in, and I kept asking people, if they tell you, if you bring 200,000, bring 200,000? If you provide help with 200,000, you get help what 300,000. And I'm asking, the extra 100,000 that they are giving to you on top of the 200K, where did they get it from? What are they actually doing? And you're giving out the money and they're not giving you anything tangible. So it's not like you went into this, you got into the business and you bought this. They gave you this as value for your money. So if there's no tangible products, watch out, that's a Ponzi scheme, because you really can't lay hold on anything or lay hold on anybody. The pyramid scheme is just the senior brother of the Ponzi scheme. Why do I say it's the senior brother? It has all the characteristics of the Ponzi scheme, but they included the referral system. So in other words, if you introduce more people to the Ponzi, you'd get more benefits. That's a pyramid scheme. Ponzi is more or less like one person dealing with everybody. Pyramid is more or less like using the referral system, but the Ponzi structure. So what you have in the multi-marketing system is that you should have tangible products. It is actually a channel of distribution. It's a sharing model, and really everyone in it gets to benefit. So you're supposed to be having money, products worth your money, as well as sharing those same products with other people. So everyone in the system gets to have some form of benefits. So I just listed out everything here. Probably I could have it sent to you much later so you could go through it and look through it. So I wouldn't want to take so much of our time. So when you're looking at doing business with any company, these are the things that you should consider. Who are they? What's their track record? Like when I say who are they, if you go to the Longreach website, www.longreachglobal.com, or you could check www.longleachcom.com/en, right? Check any of those websites. You'd be able to get in tune with who the company is. You'd see the history of the company. They started in 1986. They are involved in hospitality, they're involved in tourism, they have so many other investments. So they are not a typical network marketing company. It's not like it's network marketing. Their core business is original equipment manufacturing, that's OEM and ODM. I don't want to go into all those details. So you need, these are some of the things that you need to check out. Who are they? What's their track record? What's their mission, their purpose? What are they giving in exchange for monies? Are they tangible products? What is the compensation plan like? Do we have demotion? Are they going to flush your points? Are they going to block you if you do one thing or the other? And all of that. These are some of the things that you want to check out. And you also want to look at who is and what is the team that I'm going to be working with. Okay, so these are the things that you want to consider. And I'm going to take you at this point into who we are and what we have already mentioned some of them. And I'd love you to take a little bit of time and check out the website as well for a little bit more picture on what these guys do. So I mentioned that Longreach is not a network marketing company on its own. Rather, what they do is that they are contract manufacturers. That's their core business. Their core business is manufacturing for other brands. Some of the brands you are already using, most likely in your home. So I would mention some of them. You're actually going to see them, like Avon. We know Avon is a network marketing company. Longreach does some of their cosmetics for them. Not all, some, right? We have several other cosmetic companies, Shiseido, we have Exxon as well, some oil companies, we have HTC. I'm going to show it to you. So you see that these guys, their core business is manufacturing for other people. But the idea is this: if I have the resources to manufacture for other people, I have access to raw materials, I have access to good labor. When I mean good labor, they are employing PhD holders in their company. I mean, the person who used to, the top researcher for Revlon in the US is currently working with Longreach in the US. So they have 8 research centers in the United States of America, in France, in Japan, and of course, you know, Japan and quality, they are something else. And then the rest are in China. So this is their core business. They manufacture for other people. They have investments in logistics, hospitality, tourism, real estate, woodwork, agriculture. And the agriculture is more or less like innovative agriculture. Honestly, I wish I had some of those videos. I would show them to us. So what I just have here is just a picture of the headquarters, right? So you could actually see the picture at the bottom left is the factory in China. It's an intelligentized factory. I have been privileged to visit this factory 2 times, in 2018 and in 2019. And it is an edifice. Did I also mention that Longreach is into tourism? This is one of the national tourist sites. Like, I don't have that video handy, but if you check on my Facebook page, you'd actually see one of the videos that I took. You know, we had buses and buses of people from different countries coming to check out the Longreach factory. And right in there, we had a lot of brands being displayed. These are the people that Longreach produces for or manufactures for. So you have Elizabeth Arden, Adidas. Is Adidas here? Adidas is not here. I have it conspicuously engraved on my mind because I saw quite a number of their ranges at the factory. So the one question I would like to ask you, if you were to come across a company like this that is already in partnership with these category of companies, and I ask you to do business with me and this company, would you say yes or would you say no? Looking at the quality and standard of people who are partnering with these guys already. There are so many names that you know here. You have GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. You have Unilever. That's over 100 years of experience sunk in. And I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more good news as we go on. So these are the guys that Longreach does business with. And usually, I'd love to go into our product range. I'm just going to talk about 1 or 2 of them because I don't want us to take too much time, right? But you can see on the screen displayed some of the products. I think probably on another session that we're going to have, we'll take out time to just do the products on another one of our sessions because the products can take over an hour. So I don't want this to go that long. So I'm just going to show you one of the products that I have with me right now, 1 or 2 of them that I have with me right now. And the first one I want to show you is the alkaline cup. I'm sure you can see it there on the screen, right? I have this handy with me every time, every day. And the only thing that goes in here is water. We know the quality of water that you drink is very important. Your bodies are made about 70% of water. And some of the time, people fall ill, not because of hereditary stuff and all of that, but basically because of the kind of things that you're taking in. And I could tell you that the kind of water that you're taking in is also very important because if you're taking in acidic water, right? An acidic environment favors bacteria. They thrive very well in acidic environments. And bacteria is one of the key disease-causing organisms. You have bacteria, you have fungus, you have viruses, right? So put bacteria in an alkaline environment, they cannot thrive. So what you want to do is that you want to be able to maintain your body pH by taking in water that neutralizes the acidity of your body and balances it out. That way, disease-causing organisms find it more difficult. So you're attacking the issue at the root before it even begins. You're attacking the issue at the root before it even starts. That's the idea. So I have here the Longreach cup. Another one of the items I have, I do not know if this is available in the UK yet or US markets. This is the coffee, the Longreach coffee, and it is also alkaline in nature. Most of Longreach products are at least 80% organic, at least 80% organic. So you have less chemical reactions and less chemical interactions. So that just makes it, I mean, I'm a scripture person, sorry, so I always like to go to the scripture. The first thing that comes to my mind is when God created the herbs and everything. He said he created all these things for you. Where did medicine come from? They take herbs and all those stuff and mix them together. Even the chemicals are actually, distilled and other foreign bodies added before you have the finished product. So what Longreach did was, as much as possible, keep out the caffeine. So you have no caffeine content in here. Rather, you have extracts of plants. I know one of the things that we have in here is palm kernel oil, right? In my village, where I didn't grow up in the village though, but in my village, palm kernel oil is very, 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 very important. Like if you use, they call it moyon in my language. They call it moyon. Patients, you should know that it doesn't have a very pleasant smell like that, but then it's extremely good for the skin. Extremely good for the skin, and also very good for internal organs in the body. So they took this out. Now, these are like things that I don't know how to put it. These are really down to the basic kind of things that these guys took time to do. So you have palm kernel oil in here as one of the contents that you have in here. And one other very major thing, Cordyceps militaris. I'd like you to Google it and check it. This is the Cordyceps militaris in the capsule form. It's a very strong, natural antibiotic, right? But because it's natural, it doesn't have the kind of effects your normal antibiotics would have. Rather, I find that this actually helps me cope with stress, prevent infections, boost your immune system. So in this whole period that we had the whole COVID thing, this has been my partner, and the fellow comes with a pamphlet. I mean, it's in Longreach that for the first time I saw a pot that came with a booklet like this. I was like, oh my God, I've not seen stuff like this before. So these are just examples of a couple of the products that we have. We do not have, you would think that your regular multi-level marketing company would be all supplements, capsules and all of that stuff. But they do things, and this is what really tripped me about it. They do things that people use on a daily basis. That's why at the beginning, I said, what if you could turn the things that you purchase and consume on a daily basis into a source of income? So your bathing soap, you can see it displayed on the screen. Your bathing soap, your toothpaste,
Yeah, hello. Let's just stay on. I think Nigeria issue with internet. Yes, let's hang on. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's hang on. We know Nigerian issue with internet. This thing was already flowing. We are really, really getting somewhere. But let's just hold on. I know she will find her way back. The internet is really, really bad. Patience. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, give me a sound. Yeah, give me a thumb up. Yes, I see Justina. Okay. You can hear me. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Internet, internet, internet. Internet, internet, internet. God help our country, Nigeria. Yeah, she's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so sorry about that. So I'm going to share my screen again so we can continue from where we stopped. And I'll just quickly run it over. So basically, the thing is, the idea is that you switch your brand, like, you know, you use these things, you really cannot take it out from your budget. There are stuff that, whether you like it or not, family of 4, family of 5, everyone is going to take their bath. So why don't I take my bath and have some points recorded for me and earn some money by sharing it with other people? That's the idea. The idea is consume these things, refer other people to also consume, because we do it every other time. You know, you have a particular place where they barb your hair and they barb it so nicely, and your friend is like, oh, wow, I like this, your barber. Please, you've made a referral and you're not going to get paid for it.
For free.
So why don't I monetize my talking? So instead of me to just gist and chit chat, instead, I direct my chit chat to money. If my chit chat is not bringing in cash, I'm not getting involved in that chit chat. What is? So let's make our chit chat and our conversations, start conversations that can bring in. And you know, the very interesting thing about this business is that your job would not pay you and your children, right? The least they could do on your job is create an educational fund or give you education allowance for your kids. But they're not going to pay your kids monthly or weekly. My kids are earning from this platform because at the point at which I plugged in, I brought them in as well. The second child was already earning before I even got pregnant with her. In fact, initially myself and my husband had planned, okay, we are praying the second child should be a boy. So we gave the boy a name by faith and we registered the boy in Longreach. Only for the child to come and it was a girl. But she was already earning money before she was even conceived.
Burn. Woo!
That's the fantastic thing about it. This is one thing I'd always wanted to do while I was in the university. I kept going to the bank because somehow my mom exposed me to banking very early. So I was not a stranger to banking halls. And they kept telling me, you can't. I wanted to open an account for my children to start saving for them as at then. What kind of family are you? I wanted to start saving for the kids as at then, you know? But they told me, you must have the child first. So I ended up doing this. Okay, since I can't open a bank account, let me go and buy shares, you know? But I think at this point, I actually regret buying those shares that I bought. I should have not bought handbags and shoes because those shares right now are almost like they are not really worth much right now. So this is what this platform allows you to do. You earn, your children too can earn. And you see your parents that you always have to like keep out something for, or take out some money to send to. You can actually plug them in here and they receive their their monies directly without you having to take it out from your pocket. So it's such a financial plan that allows you to include your entire community. And by simply doing a couple of actions consistently over time, everyone benefits, including children, including the unborn ones as well. So these are the things that if you plug in, what am I asking you to do? You're most likely going to, buy another bar of soap to replace your supply at home. Instead of buying that, buy the Longreach alternative. If you're a coffee drinker, do the Longreach Coffee. If, of course, this one is one thing that every home should have. Have this for everybody. My goodness, that's just basically, what for those of us who do a lot of vitamins, like I grew up on calcium. I have a lot of it stocked in my house. So it's always with me because, I need it. So if you don't want to do the supplements, you have the Longreach pot. What are you cooking with? Are you cooking with a non-stick pot or an aluminum pot? Is it really healthy? Why don't you, take the healthy cooking alternative? Everybody's trying to keep fit and keep healthy, avoiding oils, avoiding this, avoiding that, and all of that. Get the Longreach pots. So you know fully well you're going to buy these things. So instead of buying them from the other sources, buy them from Longreach. That is an automatic registration, automatically. And you can use that and get the rest of your family plugged in. And then we start the business part of it, which is the referral part. That's the business part. And as you're referring, more people are getting in to switch their own brands and also start consuming Longreach products. Everyone in that line gets paid. You get paid, they get paid, and that's how it continues. So it's more or less like a community thing. We are changing our consumption pattern and in such a way that it's paying us as we go. So these are the benefits that you're going to be having. Once you've chosen to switch your brand, you're going to have the weekly earnings. You're going to have access to any promos that we have. Sometimes we have, like right now, we have some promotions going on. There's a buy two, get one free, buy three, get one free. Those kind of stuff, you could have access to them. You have the yearly car funds. I'm going to be showing you that. 3 times annual vacation sponsored by this company. I'm telling you the story of my life when it comes to that area. And then you have the house funds. You have shares. Now, this is the part that totally blew my mind. The shares part of the Longreach benefits. Now, I bought shares when I was in the university. And what I needed to do was I walk into the banking hall at the time when we have that IPO being done, and I will pay at the counter, and much later in the mail, I'll receive my certificates. And that sheet of paper is all that I could use to say, oh, I actually did buy shares. I lose that sheet of paper, I lose my entitlement completely. Or if I even lose any of the details at all. However, what you have on this platform is that as you are purchasing, if you purchase to a certain, because each of these products have points, right? And all those points are being counted. If you purchase to a certain number of points, you are automatically given a share incentive. It's called the VIP shares, VIP incentives, which means that Longreach is taking 1% of its annual profits. No, sorry, not annual profits. It's taking 1% of its monthly profits and sharing amongst only people who are in that category. It's done in proportion to your team, what do they call it? Team activities for that month. But guess what? It is just additional money because you're not doing anything extra for it. You just bought stuff to a certain number of points and automatically for life, 1% global shares, you're going to be earning it. And guess what? Those 1% global shares, when it becomes 1 full point equals 100 US dollars. And you can convert it, and it's for life. It just keeps accumulating every month. At the initial part, it might be small, but as you keep growing your team size and growing your weekly income, that's exactly how your shares grow. You don't have that on the stock exchange. The stock exchange does not grow your shares based on what's happening in the company. Once in a while, they can decide, okay, we really made a lot of profit, so we're going to give people for every, it can be once in a while, but it's not a daily affair. They can say, okay, for every 10 shares that you have, we can give you 1. They will even sell more shares to you. So you bring in more money. You don't have that. But here you can cash it out. And even after you cash it out, it still keeps accumulating. Meanwhile, remember, you had already taken products worth your money's worth. So you're not putting down anything. That's the part that just blew my mind completely. And there are several other incentives. I'm just going to quickly run through it. These are just pictures of some of the weekly earnings that people have had on the platform. Right? These are just pictures of some of our trips. We had China. The one at the top left is the first trip I actually made on the Longreach platform, and that was to the United States of America. This is a little bit memorable for me because I had attempted about 10 years before then. I had attempted getting a visa from the US Embassy and I'd been denied twice. The second time I was denied, I told the lady that was interviewing me, look at my face. You're not going to see me coming here to request for any visa anymore. The next time you're going to see me, if you see me, the next time, it will be a company that is sponsoring me and you will have no choice but to give me the visa. Guess what? I didn't know. I was still a student as at then. I didn't know anything. But years later down the line, this company came in and that thing came true with ease, with so much ease. Like the visa fees was paid by the company. All I needed to do was just show up with my green passport, flight ticket, feeding, whatever, accommodation, every single thing was taken care of. It was fantastic. And you know what? Traveling alone is one thing, but traveling in groups is something else. It's always fun. You get to meet new people. It's always fantastic. Like, it's a lot of fun. You could actually see from the pictures. It's actually a lot of fun. And you get to be lodged in 5-star hotels by this company. I've worked in the oil and gas industry for 8 years. I was never opportuned to ever lodge in a 5-star hotel, not until early this year. But Longreach gave that to me at least 2-3 times every year. And when I'm talking about 5-star hotels, I'm talking about them Sheraton, them whatever. What are the other names that you can even think of? They are fantastic and everything is taken care of. Imagine on this particular China trip that we made, we're about 250 people or thereabout. I can't really remember the figure, but over 200 people made this trip and everyone was lodged in Sheraton Shanghai for 10 days. We moved from Sheraton to another hotel that was even better than Sheraton standard, to another hotel. It was fantastic. Like, you know, you come back from such experience and you feel like, yes, you're actually really valued. Those trips did a whole lot for us as a team and for people's psyche as well. So we have that, and then we have the car funds. This happens like one every year. 12 months, you have promos running and it runs for 12 months and you have different categories. So for this year in Nigeria, we have 5 million category, we have 7 million, we have 15 million, and then we have 25 and 50 million naira categories as well. 50 million naira. Some people are going to be walking away with that amount in 1 year. And then we also have a replica of it in the UK. we have 11,000 pounds, 22,000 pounds, and 33,000 pounds. So right now, this evening, I am showing to you, I'm presenting to you the offer it's on a tray, like it's a buffet. What you just need to do is, okay, this is what is available, right? I'm going to go for this. And then we are going to be showing you how you can actually achieve this. Not just showing you, but also supporting you through the process. Whatever trainings you need, whatever support that you need from us, we're also going to make that available to ensure that you achieve what you want to achieve. So it's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to walk away with 11,000 pounds in the next couple of months? Do you want to walk away with 33,000 pounds? Do you want to walk away with 50 million naira extra? And guess what? It doesn't even have to be just you. You and your children can do that. You can see that in the picture in the middle at the bottom. That's a whole family. Father, mother, qualified for 10 million naira each. Children too, qualified. So you can have that. Like, these kids are not even up to the age of making any money, but they're already making money on this platform. And that is what you have available. So we had this within the family. I deliberately put the other screenshots there with the dates. So you could see that, hey, this is not audio. This is actual. If there's anything like that. This is actually actual. Myself and my husband were able to qualify last year for 10 million each. This was actually his first time. I've done quite a number of them. So you could see in that corner, that's myself in my first car. It's as if something is covering it. I can't really see the picture too well. That was the first car I had in Longreach. And then you have the house funds. Longreach sets aside 25 million for its star directors, and we are having so many people building their dream homes on this platform, courtesy of the platform. I've already shared my story with us, but this was last year, myself and my husband with the chairman of Longreach. And this is one thing that I really love about this company, that you could actually get to physically interact with the people who are behind the scenes. So it's not like there's some invisible hand somewhere in any country, you know, pivoting something and you do not really know the person that is behind the scenes. So that's us with the chairman of Longreach himself, Zuzi Wei, a very futuristic thinking man. Now, one of the other incentives that you have on the platform, apart from the shares incentives, there are several other incentives that you could cash out, but then this is actually the Star Director's incentive. So for being a director or for being a Star Director on the Longreach platform, every 6 months you are given something. I say given because it's not like there's anything extra that you're doing to get this. It's just part of the package. So you see, money can be stoning you from different areas. Money is stoning you from the cars, money is stoning you from the trips. By the way, if you qualify for the trips and you do not want to go, you can cash it out. You can actually cash it out. So you have money coming in from that angle, you have it coming in from the trips, you have it coming from your weekly earnings, you have it coming in from your share points. That's more than four different streams already, you know? And then if you're a stockist, you also have it coming in from the stockist angle. So, you just have money stoning you from every angle possible. But at the beginning, yeah, we got to work at the beginning. We just going to have to put in the effort at the beginning for it to blossom and become, easy. So we have the entry levels here in Nigeria. I'm not going to spend so much time on this because you could actually have this, sent out to you. You have different entry levels that you could start from. But one thing you need to know is that wherever you start from, you can upgrade yourself to the next level. Okay? So how do I earn? This is basically what you need to do. I switch my brand. Bring in your family. By all means, make sure that those first 3 people that you sign up are your family, your wife, your children. Ensure that happens. If there are 4 children, layer them one under the other, because that is how your kids also get to earn along with you. So you have that. And then once you've done that, you can now start sharing and referring other people to join you on the platform. How do I share? Sorry, one second. How do I share with people? How do I share with people? I do that by mediums like this. We have a whole lot of things that are going on apart from virtual meetings. We have virtual meetings, we have physical meetings going on. For those of us in diaspora, of course, I know there are a lot of us who are in the Netherlands right now. You could also reach out to people within Nigeria or outside Nigeria. And we have a lot of virtual meetings to share the business opportunity with them and share the products with them. And once they buy, they get into your structure and you also get paid for that. So once that happens, we also teach the people to do exactly the same thing. Consume, share with others, and the earning begins. But the sharing is very, very important. So I have here, like, but basically this is in Naira, because we do not have that for the European market yet. Once we do, we'll make sure we have that up. So we have this based in Naira, but it's the same principle that applies to any currency at all. It's the same principle that would apply in terms of the PVs and calculations. So you have that, and I've talked about the current promo that we have in Nigeria, 5, 7, 15 million, 25 and 50 million, and in the UK, 11, 22 and 33,000 pounds respectively. So what do you need to do? If you're on this call and you haven't joined us yet, the first thing you need to do is decide which of these entry levels is very okay for you to begin with, whether you're beginning in Nigeria or you're starting in the UK, whichever one. We'd also send out the UK entry levels to you as well. So you pick out which is convenient for you and you get signed in. So you're going to choose products worth that amount and ensure that your family is signed in. That is very important. Now, once you've done that, the very next thing we're going to ask you to do is that we're going to have a lunch with you. Share this with people in your structure, okay? Invite them, we share it with them, and we repeat exactly the same processes, okay? So at this point, I think I can take your questions. I can take your questions. At this point, I have exhausted basically what our business is about and how you can get started.
Thank you very much, Ma. In fact, this is really, really loaded. Please, I want you to appreciate our speaker. She has done justice. I want somebody to just please help me give her a round of applause. Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. Thank you very much. SD, you are still sharing your screen?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Please help me appreciate our SD in the house. Honestly, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. Now the floor is open for questions. If you have questions, you can begin to send your question. SD, maybe you need to unmute. If you have questions, signify by raising your hand or showing something, and we'll call you. You are going to be on mute so that you can ask your question. Anybody?
Okay,
anyone?
You can unmute yourself.
You can unmute yourself. Yes, Oduba, Ikwa is raising up her hand.
Yes. Good morning, LD. Good morning, LD.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for the lecture. So I didn't know what they had because I didn't get the info.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
No, I said thank you for the lecture. I came in late because I didn't get the information on time. But I just want to find out about the 1% global share. I don't know if you can show more.
Okay.
How can I achieve that can be and the 1% global share? Remember, thank you.
You can't go house, so.
Okay. So you'd like me to throw more light on the 1% global share?
Because
Yes.
global share, yes.
Fantastic.
Is it possible to be a VIP member and not earn it? That's yes.
All right, that's fine. I'll do that right now. Okay, the 1% global shares. What I tried to say earlier is that you're actually going to be buying products worth up to 1,680 points because each of these products have points allocated to them. So you are looking at getting products that is going to give you 1,680 points. That automatically qualifies you to be a VIP member. Now, as a VIP member, what that means is that on a weekly basis, from whatever is going on within your team, as you are referring people, whether it's your family members or other people who are around you, as you're referring them into your structure and spreading them across your 1, 2, 3 lines, because you have, line 1, line 2, line 3, as you saw on the picture, as you're spreading them across that, you're going to be earning 12% of whatever is happening across board. 12%. Now, please note that this 12% is just one of the bonuses. It's just one of them. There are other bonuses that are 10% flat and all of that, but we just pick one of them, 12% performance bonus. Now, aside that, right, because you bought products, whether you bought them all at once or you upgraded yourself, that's you started with a lower level and upgraded yourself to 1,680 PVs, okay? Either way, because you have achieved 1,680 as your personal point value, right? The company automatically recognizes you as a VIP. And that means they will take out 1% at the end of the month. They will take out 1% of their global profits, okay? And distribute that 1% amongst only people who are VIPs nationwide. And it is in proportion to your team's activities. Okay? In other words, as your team grows bigger and your earnings, your weekly earnings grow bigger, as that happens, your points also increase. So the week you earn, the period that you earn, maybe you earned 1 million naira this week, you earn 800,000, you earn 400,000. That month, right? Your points are going to be bigger than when you earn maybe 150,000 throughout the month. That's what I mean. Now, even when you cash them out, remember I said 1 full point equals 100 US dollars. Once you cash it out, right, it will be deducted from what you have in the system. But because it's for life, it starts reading again. So even when you cash out, it just, because the next month you're still going to keep doing activities, you're still going to keep building your business within the next month and the rest of the year. So it just keeps accumulating. And it's something that you did once, just once, one-off. So if you're even in Nigeria, the exchange rates fluctuating and going to 500 even favors you because it's denominated in dollars. I hope I'm able to answer your question, sir.
Thank you, Ma. I have another question here. Somebody asked a question. He said, at what time do I need to begin my 30 PV? That is my repeat order or my retail order. I think that is what the person is talking about. That is Fatoba Funke.
Okay, that would be done. I usually you can start it from once you've achieved Diamond 2 or Diamond 3, but I usually like to advise that you start doing that when you know that your success lines are beginning to earn well. and your success lines are, you know that they are earning on a weekly basis now, then you can start doing that. That's the bar that I put. But usually you could start at diamond 2, you can start at diamond 3. Sometimes some people even start from diamond 1.
Yeah, thank you, ma. I'm trying to see if there's any other question.
Okay, I'm seeing a question here.
Okay.
How can I start? From Galaxy S9 Plus.
Okay.
Okay, I can't tell. I can't tell exactly which country you are, whether you're in the Netherlands or whether you're in Nigeria. But I'd like to ask you to please reach out to the person who invited you onto the call. I had listed out entry levels, but I listed it out for Nigeria, and I'll just run through it. We have different entry levels. In Nigeria, you have the 40,000 naira, 25 to 40,000 naira category. You can do 80,000 naira. You could do 130,000, 350, or you just do the VIP straight 750,000 naira worth of products. But I'd like to advise you would actually need to reach out to the person who invited you so that they can guide you and help you to choose your products and to get started.
Yeah, thank you very much, my SD. I want to ask this question for the benefit of those that are logged in right now. There are some of us that are in diaspora who have accounts in Nigeria, and definitely we have our foreign account, our Euro account or pound sterling account. The question I want to ask is,